Lockdown Knowledge Boost Foundation 3. Hopefully you're into a bit of a rhythm with these now, so we're going to start writing all over here, see what angles we can find. So starting off, looking at that 48, what other angles are 48, or what other angles can I work out? Not really concerned about that x yet, I'm just trying to fill in as many angles as I can. So now we've seen a couple of weeks where we have that sort of Z shape made within our parallel lines, that means that this one and this one are the same because alternate angles are equal. And you could keep on filling in other angles, so we could work out that one, we could work out that one, angles on a straight line, that one, co-interior angles. But because now I'm starting to look at the x and see, can I link it? I have a triangle there, so our angles inside a triangle add up to 180. So I can now work that one out. We need to get down our reasons, remember? So usually a mark for that. So that reason was the alternate angles are equal. And now we've got angles inside a triangle. Total, or add up to 180 degrees. So to work that out, I'm doing 180 degrees minus 48 minus 77. You can use a calculator, we don't want to be making any silly mistakes. So 180 minus 48 minus 77 equals 55 degrees. Hopefully you're finding these a little bit easier now. Sometimes you can be looking at them for a while, so that's why I always say just start writing down whatever angles you can. You'll usually get marks, and it just makes it a little bit easier to get towards the answer. So that's our x. Okay, question 2. Similar to last time, we have to translate this T-shape minus 1, 5. So we pick one corner on our shape. That corner is going to move minus 1, 5. Remember, it's x over y. So we're going to move minus 1 in the x direction, which means we move into the left 1, and 5 in the y direction, plus 5. So we're going to go up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that corner is now in this position, and then you can repeat it for other corners, or if you're confident that you can then follow that shape around, you can draw it from that position. Okay, so that's our now translated shape. It's been translated by the vector minus 1, 5. Question 3, we've seen a few of these now. We know that our area of a trapezium is the average of the two parallel sides, so we add those together, divide by 2, and then we multiply that by 4.5, the perpendicular height. So 5.2 plus 10.8, awkward numbers, but just use a calculator. All that's divided by 2, and then I'm multiplying that by 4.5. So I'm just going to put all that into a calculator. 5.2 plus 10.8 divided by 2 times by 4.5. We should get the answer, 36, because we're working out area. We've got centimetres, so it's going to be centimetres squared. Question 4, we've got our area of a circle again, which we know is pi r squared. This time we're given our radius, being 8.4, so it's pi times 8.4 squared. Same as all the other weeks, we've just, and hopefully these are helping you to remember these formulas, how to use them, and it's just extra marks that we can then get in our next full paper that we do. So we've got that one, 221.67, round to 2 decimal places. It doesn't say in the question, we can write more, but I'm going to round to there. Okay, if you rounded to 1 decimal place, you've got 221.7, absolutely fine. It didn't ask us to round in the question, so as long as you just state what you're doing, then you'll get the marks. Question 5, hopefully now we look at that, we know straight away it's Pythagoras. If that's the case, we've moved on tons with that since the beginning, but I have thrown in a little bit different with this one. So you'll hopefully remember from the previous 2 weeks, we were always working out our longest side, which is always opposite your right angle. This time we're given our longest side. So we can't square this side and square that side and add them and then square root to get this one, because if we're adding them, it's going to be bigger, and we know this side isn't bigger. So what we're going to do in this case is we're going to subtract the smaller side away from the square of the biggest side. So instead of 13 squared plus 12 squared, we're actually going to do 13 squared minus 12 squared. Obviously, if you got them the wrong way around, you'd end up with a negative number. It's a length, so you can't do that. We're not going to add them because we know this one is our biggest side, so this one can't be bigger. So that's going to give me x squared, and then we're repeating the same process. So the only change that I've done is I've given you the longest side rather than the two shorter ones. You're still just plugging that into your calculator. So that is 313, which is x squared. So then we square root them. Square root answer, S to D to get our decimal. So x is 17.69. I'm going to go to 2 decimal place again, centimetres. Okay. Turn it over. Quite a few bits again to do with this, so I'll just write them above in the book. We've got more numbers this time, so just make sure we don't miss any out. So we've got our mean. I'm going to add them all up, divide it by how many there are. I'm just going to type this straight into my calculator. So we've got 8 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8 plus 13 plus 3 plus 18 equals 66. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're going to divide that by 9 to get 7.3 recurring. And the median, we want to put them in order of size, so let's just be careful. I might even just tick them off as I go. I've got 1 3, I've got 2 3s, not anything else, another 3, I've got a 4, a 6, 2 8s, 13 and an 18. They're in order of size. We had 9, we counted them up before, so if we were going to cancel off from the outside, move our way in, we're just going to end up with one number because we've got an odd amount. That's our middle number, that's going to be our median. Just double check, I've got 4 on that side, 4 on that side. So our median in this case is 6. And mode is the most frequent. It's quite handy now that I've got it in this style because you can see we've got 3 3s, 2 8s, but 3 3s. So your mode is 3, and your range is between 3 and 18. So we do 18 minus 3 to get 15. If you're now confidently getting through those, remembering them, that's the whole purpose of doing these homeworks, so that's really good. Just keep going. You've only got 2 more to go on this before we start looking at maybe some of the topics and ultimately improving the test scores. We've got our two-way table again, so different numbers, but we're going to look to fill in different value, which whatever's easiest. So wherever we've got 2, so here we've got 12 arts, so many English that have failed, so that means that it's 13 in total, so that must be 1. 1 plus 12 is 13. 25 plus 1 gives me 26. Something plus 12 is 19, so I can put 7 in there. 25 plus 7 gives me 32. 32 plus 13 gives me 45. Quick check. 26 plus 19 also gives me 45, so I'm happy that that must work. You can use calculator if you wish. We're on to our pie chart. A lot of the time with these, we've noticed with so particular students I've been teaching, we've just got either a freehand drawing or there's not the calculations for the angles. Please take your care with this. It would be worth quite a number of 3-4 marks maybe if it came up. If you don't have a protractor, just ask your teacher. and we can sort you out with one of those. You need all the equipment, and we'll make sure that you get the marks in the last couple of weeks. As we've done before, we're going to add these totals up. So we've got 25 plus 14 plus 21, which is 60 in total. We're thinking we want it to be 360 because we've got our 360 degrees. So we've got, what am I multiplying that by? I'm timesing it by 6. So we're going to multiply each of the other ones by 6 to get our angle. So 25 times by 6 is 150. 14 times by 6 is 84. 21 times by 6 is 126. And we need to draw those, only 3 sections this time. Let's go carefully so I don't mess it up like I did last week. Make sure our centre of the protractor is lined up, and we're using our 0 scale. So blue was 150, going round 0 to 150. Draw that line. And the next one, green, was 84. So I'm using that line again, carefully get it to the centre. We're going around from 0 to 84. So 80, mark off. 84 in the centre. That should leave, hopefully. This is where it went wrong for me last time. 126, I'm going from 0 round to 1, 2, yeah, I'm happy with that. Pretty much 126, so that one was green. That's red. Okay, do use a ruler, do use a protractor. You're not going to get any marks if you don't use the right equipment for that, and that should be easier marks. Just a little bit of effort, we know, but well worth it. So you don't have the pressure's off for some of the more difficult questions. Right, now we had bar charts in the first few weeks. This idea is just getting used to some simple representations of data. Typically pictograms are answered really well, but just do take care. There are a couple of mistakes that people do sometimes make. So we've got the pictogram shows the number of hours of sunshine in 4 cities for a day in May. Which city had the most sunshine? How many? We'll go back to that. Let's just sort out what's going on here. So we've got a key bit here. The key is important. It tells us that one whole amount represents 4. So we're going to use that to figure out how many hours of sunshine there were in each of the different cities. So we've got 4 hours here. So that's going to be 4, 4. And then we've got half a circle, so that one's going to be 2. So we've got 4 plus 4 plus 2, so there's 10 hours there. Cork has got 3 lots of 4, so 12. London has got 4, and then 3/4 of a circle, so 3/4 of 4. If we think each quarter is going to be 1 hour, that's going to be 3 hours there, so we've got 7 hours in total. And then Swansea has got 4 plus another 4, and then 1/4, which would be 1, so that would be 9 in total. Now hopefully these questions are now easy now that we've done most of that work. We've interpreted our data representation. So we've got the first one, which city had the most sunshine? Cork had the most sunshine with 12 hours, would you believe? So we've got, for A, the answer is Cork. Watch your spelling. How many hours of sunshine did Swansea have? Swansea had 9 hours of sunshine. Get your unit. How many more hours of sunshine did Paris have than London? So Paris and London, Paris had 3 more hours. So 3 hours more. Right? Very, very kind of straightforward stuff, but so many places where we could go wrong if you don't see the key. If you misread the question, lots of words there, just break it up bit by bit. Do what you can, write things down. You'll be picking up marks all the way. Okay. We're almost there, last 2, so we've got Rosie's playing a game with a fair-sided dice and a fair coin. She rolls the dice and flips the coin. If the coin lands on heads, her score is 1 less than the number on the dice. If she lands on tails, her score is 1 more. A bit more complicated, this one, not just a multiplication, but let's work through it and just see what happens. So if we roll a 1 on the dice, that doesn't impact anything here, but it's whether or not our coin, if it's heads or tails. Let's reread what happens. So we've got on heads, if the coin lands on heads, her score is 1 less than the number on the dice. So if it's 1 less than the one that we've rolled, which was 1, that'd be 0. 1 less than the 2, it'd be 1. 1 less than 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. All of those are 1 less than the number that was rolled on the dice if we roll a head. Flip a head rather. If you flip tails, her score is 2 more than the number on the dice. So instead of 1, we're adding on 2 to get 3, add on 2 to get 4, add on 2 to get 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, each of those are all 2 higher than the one that's there to get our scores. So quite simple once you've got that, but it is really difficult with these questions when there's so much writing to get your head around what's going. So hopefully with these sheets you're now spotting this is a sample space diagram. I know I'm going to fill in the different values and just look for that data, double check, does it match each of those? Again, lots of marks available, you've just got to read it carefully. And we're the last one, we're here, lights have gone out, hang on. Obviously taking too long. Number 11. So Esmir takes the bus to university 40 times during the term. Relative frequency of the bus being late is 0.25. So same as before, this is our probability. We're using that to work out the estimate of how many times the bus was late. Same as what you've seen before. These should definitely be marks we're picking up. Don't really need a calculator for that, just realised. But work out your values each time. Alright, well done for listening throughout the whole thing again. Only a couple more of these to go. If you have any feedback, if anything's working well or not, that would be really, really appreciated so we can improve these to help you improve further. Thank you.